A big position, mate. You know, who's got a target on their back?
Well, to be fair, the WBC, that's the one. So everyone that's ranked above me. So I think there's a fight that I've asked for already is against Kabayel, who's like probably number one in the WBC outside of the champions. And he's a fighter that I like. I mean, he's a good fighter. You know, really tough, robust, works the body well. Good fighter. But winning that fight gets you straight into a world heavyweight title shot. So that would be number one. Number two, probably Zhang or Parker. I think it was Parker.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Zhang or Parker, in the sense of obviously both are very well known. Parker, obviously he's one of the main reasons why I even sort of kickstarted myself back up. You know, I remember after before the world title shot for the Bridgerweight belt, I was there. I think I was like 119 kilos, just lounging around with the restaurant, with the supermarkets, just thinking this boxing politics is nonsense. And then he was fighting Wilder, and then or someone from his team said, "Oh, you're in Dubai. Do you mind coming over and doing some rounds? He's fighting in a week or so." And I went for like 1 or 2 runs just to see. I was like, you know, I'm a bit heavy, but not so bad. And I went over and sparred, and I was like, oh yeah, like I'm actually good at boxing. What am I doing?
Still got it.
And sort of,
Still got it, baby.
Kind of lit the fire again, and then we went on, won the Bridgerweight belt, and now we're here. So those are really the ones. And then Zhang in China is obviously another one that would be fantastic. You know, going to Poland was amazing. China would be a whole different thing, and Zhang would be a whole different thing too. But those are the sort of things that I'm trying to throw myself in as deep as I can get, because there's still that world heavyweight title to win, and the only way I'm going to win it is by going into one of these fights.
Okay, first off, that was some clickbait shit. Okay, I'll fight Anthony Joshua. Listen, Lawrence Okolie didn't say that in his interview. He said he sparred with AJ, and AJ is the reason for him getting into the GB team, because Rob McCracken's seen him. Those type of things, that gets me. However, the source of what the video was about, let's talk about that. Him wanting Agit Kabayel is a great move. It's a power move, and I think if you're going to do anything in the sport at this time, in this stage of time, you have to beat someone worth the shit. Agit Kabayel is definitely worth the shit. He's a guy that people are kind of overlooking, and I got to take my hat off to Lawrence Okolie, and it's been a while since I've done a Lawrence Okolie video. But I'm glad to bring something positive about Lawrence, besides the beef with Eddie and all the other stuff that was going on around him. But, him calling out Agit Kabayel gives that particular fighter an opportunity. It gives them both opportunities. I mean, one person's going to win and one person's going to lose unless you have a draw. So it gives the opportunity for someone to make a bigger name for themselves, someone to grow, someone to progress. And I love that, because Lawrence Okolie is coming in and wants that smoke. A lot of people don't. You know what I mean? You don't hear people talking about Agit Kabayel. They don't. And it's probably a good thing that Tyson didn't fight Agit Kabayel, because we would have missed out on a trilogy fight with Wilder. Wilder probably would have still been relevant, because he more than likely he wouldn't have fought Tyson Fury for the 3rd time if Agit would have fought him, because maybe Agit would have upset him. He could have been a damn banana peel. So, it's a good thing. But since we've seen what Agit has done to Arslanbek Markmadov, the bear wrestling Russian from Russia, and Frank Sanchez, the other undefeated fighter from Cuba, the Cuban Flash, people don't want that smoke, because they're like, okay, this dude's dangerous. And it's not that he's beating these guys on points. No, he's stopping these dudes, physically stopping them. Listen, there's a difference from getting chinned versus getting beat up and beat down. See, when someone physically beats you down to the ground, that's a totally different performance. That's a different animal. Someone coming to you just back, just catching you with these shots and making you fold like a piece of paper or like a tree in a storm. That's a totally different performance. Okay, and Agit's doing that shit. He made both of those dudes fold and say no mas. Colin Kaepernick, bend the knee. Okay, he's making these dudes do that. And Lawrence Okolie's calling them out. That's crazy. So big up for Lawrence Okolie. I hope the fight happens. But of course, we know that Agit Kabayel versus Martin Okolie is supposed to be a thing based on what the IBF wants. And they pretty much want what they get, and if they don't get what they want, they're going to show you, their wrath, right? So yeah, I do think, man, I do think for a minute that definitely Lawrence Okolie is making a power move. Is it the best move? No, not really. But guess what? I think it's a good move. You know what I mean? And everything that's good doesn't mean it's going to be easy, and that's the point. You know what I mean? Lawrence Okolie has been criticized for being a boring fighter. Well, he's going to have to fight. In fact, he's going to have to knock out Agit Kabayel. You know what I mean? Because if he starts that hey, let me jab and grab shit that he normally does, that we're accustomed to him doing, yeah, that's not going to last long with someone like Agit Kabayel that can move in and out like Parker, but can punch and work the body and his punches to the body affect you like Mickey Ward. Okay, though that's a totally different fighter right there. Now the chin of Agit Kabayel, I guess, is decent, and Okolie, he says he's full strength now, so we'll see what happens with that. But nonetheless, he's calling out Agit Kabayel, and then, guys after that, Zhang and those. But Agit Kabayel first, as your first priority, is impressive. But you guys tell me what you think of Lawrence Okolie calling out Agit Kabayel to make a name for himself at heavyweight, not bridgerweight, not cruiserweight, at heavyweight. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!